Carmen Herrera's art career began in the 1940s. Since then, the Cuban native has worked in Paris and New York, largely unnoticed, but her geometric paintings and sculptures are now getting new attention. At 101 years old, Herrera is receiving recognition many believe is long overdue. She has a solo exhibit at New York's Whitney Museum of American Art.
Here's to the beginning.
At 101 years old, Carmen Herrera has a lot to celebrate.
They've been very careful in handling.
Oh yeah, look how clean it is and how nice it is.
I'm so glad that they're doing it.
For 7 decades, Herrera has flown under the radar in the art world. It's hard to believe that she didn't sell her first painting until age 89.
No, they're already sold.
Herrera's critically acclaimed solo exhibit at the Whitney Museum defies the straight lines that got her here.
When I heard that she was going to be given a retrospective at the Whitney, I thought this is perfect poetic justice.
Edward Sullivan is an art history professor at the Institute of Fine Arts at New York University and has followed Carmen's work for many years.
A little late, but she's been hiding in plain sight.
When I was younger, nobody knew I was a painter. Now they're beginning to know I'm a painter. I waited a long time. There is a saying, if you wait for the boss will come. I say, yeah, I wait almost a century for the boss to come. And he came.
Born in Havana, Cuba in 1915, Herrera came to the U.S. with her late husband, Jesse Lowenthal, in 1939. A few years later, they moved to Paris, and it was there that Herrera found her artistic voice. Dana Miller is the curator of the Lines of Sight exhibit.
Paris was a very important, wonderful period of her life, and I think that is probably where she really blossomed.
She was doing things in the early 50s and in the late 40s, which were way before they really became popular.
Fellow artist Tony Bachara has been Carmen's neighbor for over 35 years.
If I have learned anything from my friend Carmen, is that whether it is in daily life or in my own painting, I always remember her. Keep it simple.
Simplicity became the focus of her painting and sculpting, as seen in the documentary The 100 Years Show.
Straight lines, I like angles, I like order. In this chaos that we live in, I like to put some order. So that is why I guess I'm a heritage painter.
During the 2015 Whitney Museum inaugural ceremony, Michelle Obama paid tribute to the 75-year career of Herrera.
Maybe you could discover the next Carmen Herrera or Archibald Motley or Edward Hopper or, yeah, maybe even the next Barack Obama.
Little girls can come to the Whitney and they can dream about being the next Carmen Herrera. And it just, it really got to me.
This exhibition helped spark great interest from art critics, collectors, and inspired a fashion line based on her work.
By staying loyal to her vision, despite the fact that she was not getting recognition, she sets an example. And I think that a lot of the positive reaction that she's getting now at the age of 101 has a lot to do with that.
The recent fame hasn't changed Herrera. She still wakes up every morning and draws in the New York studio she's lived in for 50 years.
There's a feeding frenzy. I mean, it's not like you can just buy a Carmen Herrera painting. At this point now, you have to get on a wait list.
For years and years, I didn't sell anything. Then suddenly, I began selling. The prices are going up. What?
I would call her the star of Manhattan at the moment because she has really burst onto the scene for many people in a very unexpected way. A lot of audiences who visit the Whitney probably have never heard of her.
She says her bus has come. And I think she kind of knew it always would.
Last month, Herrera's cerulean painting sold at an auction for $970,000 to a telephone bidder. The Lines of Sight exhibit will be at the Whitney Museum until January 9th. I encourage you guys to go check it out. I'm taking some friends right after the show. We have some of the art here in the studio. It is really amazing.
She seems like such a great lady, and I love the idea that she just kept going. She knew it was coming.